Welcome back to the Trembi channel. In today's video, we'll be taking you through how do you get started with the Trembi Sales AI. What is it in the first place? What is sales automation? How do you set up your account and how do you get started? We'll be taking you through the entire process of everything, so that even if you're just getting started today, you have everything that you need to get you started. So the starting point, Trembi is a sales and marketing software. The Trembi Sales AI is only one of the products that we offer, and this is a powerful sales automation tool for businesses. Now, before we get into what automation is, it's important that I first of all help you understand what does the sales process look like. Now, the usual sales process for most businesses entails about 7 to 8 stages. The first stage is what they call prospecting. Some companies call it prospecting, other companies call it leads acquisition. Either way, it's just the process of you getting the contacts of people that you're going to call at the end of the day. The second stage within that selling process is you're going to initiate some kind of conversation, either by sending a proposal or making a phone call, just to hear this person out to verify if they even need your services in the first place. Step number 3 is what they call qualifying the lead. This is qualification. Not everyone is going to turn into a customer. They're going to be people that you're going to send messages, reach out to, and they're never going to turn into customers. So step number 3 is what they call qualification. How do you qualify to know that these people may be interested or not? So sometimes that comes as stage number 3 for certain businesses, and in other scenarios, it comes as stage number 4. Which stage number 4 in this case is nurturing. Nurturing means the process of moving them from a point where they don't really know anything about you and converting them into an existing customer, someone that gives you money. Then eventually, step number 5 is where you meet this person or present the offer online or in person before you either close or fail to close at step number 6. And step number 7 is what they call retention. Now, what sales automation means is simply looking at this process and automating most of these stages of the selling process. I mean, the more of these stages you can automate, it means the more time you will spend on the things that matter to you the most. Keep in mind that we've talked about each and every one of these 7 stages, but each of them takes a lot of time. I mean, there are scenarios where some of the companies that were using our infrastructure, like as an example, Tripesa, back then before they started using us, as the day started, they would spend the first 3 hours just prospecting. I mean, looking for the leads of people to talk to. You're going through your contact databases, you're calling people that you know who may know some of the customers that you have, you're going through Instagram, all that just to get the contact. I mean, yes, it is an important stage, but because of how repetitive it is, it's if there is a way you can automate it, you may as well just automate it. Because I mean, 3 hours, remember, you getting the contact doesn't mean closing the business. I would rather you spend that extra time in closing the business than in looking for the contact. After that, they would now initiate sales conversations. I mean, after taking 3 hours, and you're taking now another 2 hours just to send emails, WhatsApps, follow up, begin as many conversations across all these platforms. What that meant for Tripesa specifically is they spent the first 5 hours of the day in mundane day-to-day tasks, other than what actually meant the most sense, which was closing business. Now, when are you going to get time for the meetings to actually eventually close business? Because you're spending 90% of your time in recurring things, simple things that are small yet take a lot of time if you're to do them manually. Now, that is where automation comes in. It comes in to help you with the simple day-to-day things that are important, but you could as well automate things like prospecting. Yes, I understand some people think it needs to be complicated, you need to suffer, but no, it's a repetitive thing. And if you might as well have a system which is going ahead and picking you the leads instantly, then let it go and pick you the leads. Stage number 2, if you can initiate conversations, Very important stage. If you don't do it, you're still not going to get the sales. But if you could as well automate it, at the end of the day, what matters is, have you sent out the message to this person? So the role of automation is, like I said, to look through each and every one of these stages and see where can systems help you? How can these systems structure something for you so that you don't have to go through each and every one of those stages? Because if you're going through each and one of these stages, they're going to take so much of your time that at the end of the day, you're not going to get enough sales, especially if you're a small team. So automating this just eases the whole entire sales process for you. Why automation? Like I said, by automating a lot of the day-to-day processes, it means it leaves you time, free time, to deal with the things that matter the most, to meet the customers, to close business at the end of the day. That is the main function of automation. How does it help you with many of these stages of the sales process so that now you can focus that simple time that you have left on the things that matter to you the most? So yes, in a nutshell, that is what sales automation is. Keep in mind that we have an entire blog post exclusively talking about everything sales automation. So if you'd like to learn more about how it could help you, I'm going to leave a link in the comment section. You could as well visit that blog. It has so much information, hundreds of articles on sales automation. So for more information, you could always refer to that. But from right now, we're going to dive into how to actually use the platform and how to get started with it right from the very beginning. So let's dive in. All right. So now to get us started, if you don't already have a Trembi account, it means the first step you go through is to create your account. Now to create your account, simply visit Trembi on Google and just search for Trembi, and the first result that appears is the one you should go ahead and click. Now once you click that, there is a get started button right here. Get started. So the moment you click that, it will lead you to the sign up page. Just simply give us your email, your phone number, and immediately go verify your account, and your account will be created. So that is step number one, is go ahead and create your account. Once you're done creating your account, step number two simply involves you logging in and beginning to set up your communication channels. Keep in mind that when the platform is sending out messages, it sends out communication directly using your contacts, meaning your email, your WhatsApp, your SMS. Now it means for us to be able to send those messages through your channels, you need to have granted the system permission for that to happen. And in this video, I'm going to show you how exactly you can get that started with. Now, like I said, the advantage with this is it's a one-off setup. So once you get it out of the way, immediately you would be able to start using the platform. So in order to connect your networks, there are going to be three main settings that you need. So to access those, just click settings right here. Now the first thing you do is you add what they call email senders. Now to add what they call email senders, we have two alternatives. Alternative number one is for the people that have Gmail accounts. Then alternative number two is for the people that have company domains and want to add these company domains. Now, for this to happen, first things first is you would have to come back here to your settings, then select the email senders. Now, once you select email senders, you'll be brought to a page of the sort. Now, once you get to that page, all you have to do is select add an email sender, where you will be required to put a few things. Option number one is, of course, the name you want to see. As an example, if I wanted to say people to see Trembi as I'm sending that email, I would have to put the name Trembi, or James from Trembi, whatever it is that you want to put. Step number two, given that scenario number one, we're testing using a Gmail, I'm going to use just a random example: 1234567 N1NTI@gmail.com. Now, given that this is a Gmail connection, we use what they call an SMTP connection. In the SMTP connection, all you have to do is just go and look for what is the Gmail SMTP URL. On searching for that, it will show you the SMTP URL. If you're using Outlook, do the same. Just search for what is my SMTP URL for Outlook. If you're using Zoho, it's the same process. As long as you're using an SMTP connection, simply just search for it and automatically it will bring that to you. Now, once you're done with that, it will request for what they call an app password. The app password, you can only get it inside your settings. As an example, I'll go to my Gmail settings. You can click that. Then inside your settings, you go over to security, and in security, simply search for an app password. Look for the word app password. This app password can only be available after you've turned on two-factor authentication. But after you've searched for app password, then simply type the name Trembi and it will give you some characters. It's usually about 16 characters. Those are the characters that you use to put right here. To add those 16 characters, usually they are letters, a combination of letters and numbers. And once you do, you're done connecting your Gmail. Now, there are other scenarios, like I said, where some people want to add the company domains. That is also possible, but before in that scenario, before you can add a company domain, all you have to do is still go back to the settings and select the DNS. The DNS is your domain name server. Ideally, what is happening is we're getting permission from your server to be able to send emails on your behalf so that the emails don't go to spam folders. So in that case scenario, you'd go ahead and put your domain as an example. Trembi 1236.com. Say that was your domain. So simply add that domain and it will give you some TXT records and CNAME records. Now, these records are the ones you're supposed to add in your DNS section of your website. So get all these and add them: record 1, record 2, record 3, and the TXT. All of them should be added into the DNS section. Now, once you're done adding these and it has been verified and authenticated, that is when you can now come automatically and add the email senders. So those are the two case scenarios we have. We have people who use their personal emails and we have people who use their company domain. So in both scenarios, that is how you will manage adding whatever number, whatever email it is. Now, after you're done adding the emails, for those of you that want to use WhatsApp, you can also go ahead and add WhatsApp. Still, you would go back to the settings, select a WhatsApp channel, and under the WhatsApp channel, add the number you want to use. As an example, for our case, we could just say this is Trembi. Then we put the number for Trembi. I'm just going to use an example. +447981234567. Just make sure you mark this as well so that once you connect, an SMS code is sent to your text, yeah, your text, and that's the code that you use and you add into WhatsApp. I'll probably leave another video just showing how you can go ahead and connect this to your account. Now, once you're done adding it as a linked device on your WhatsApp, automatically you will be able to send messages through that number that has been included right here. So that is the second type of setting that you need. Keep in mind that this entire settings process only happens once. So you won't need to come back here all the time. It's just only the first time that you're setting this up that you require this. Now, once you're done with that, the final step is, of course, you have to make payment for your account. And for you to do that, you have to literally get into the back to the settings, then select billing. Once you select billing, go ahead and select your plan. As an example, I'm going to choose this package. And I'm going to choose the payment method. As an example, let me choose my wallet since I already have balance, and I go ahead and make the payment. So those are the three settings that you need. In case you ever need any kind of assistance in anything setup related, you could always reach out to us on info@trembi.com, and we will be able to directly help you within the shortest period of time. But for settings, those are the three areas that are needed. Number one, adding your email. Number two, adding your WhatsApp. And number three, making sure your payment is made, because without payment, you can't go ahead and use the service. Remember, the service in the background needs to send SMSs, it needs to send emails, it needs to send WhatsApps, and all of those are billed services by the platforms that we use in the background. So that money has to be put so that in the background, the system has money to use to make the various SMSs be able to be delivered and every other communication platform work. So that is it in regards to the setup. Now we're going to section number 3, where we actually get started using the service. All right. So now once you've gotten to that level, we now go into the actual setup. Keep in mind that this is a sales automation software. Now what we're trying to do is automate a lot of the sales processes. Now what we did is we made sure that most of the functionality you need is in one place, which is under the automations right here. All you have to do is click create new. You have two kinds of automations. One kind of automation is to existing customers, but for this case, we want the AI to do all the heavy lifting for us. Look for the people, follow up, engage, do everything for us. So we select this second alternative. As an example, say I were looking for maybe real estate companies in Kenya. Real estate companies in Kenya. Keep in mind that this could be anything. This could be if you're selling to hospitals, say I'm looking for hospitals in Kenya. If you're selling to individuals, you can even say I'm looking for people that stay in London, or I'm looking for people that stay along Johannesburg or Loop Street in Cape Town. It's really up to you to select who you're looking for. We have both case scenarios of B2B and B2C. So step number 1 is just to give it a name. The name is just a label. Then step number 2 is where you now choose, am I selling to B2B or am I selling to B2C? I'm going to give you both case scenarios so that you understand how it will be used for B2B and how it will be used for B2C case scenarios. Let me start with real estate companies in Nairobi, since that's what I selected. I could literally come into and select businesses and go ahead and choose that, you know what, I'm targeting real estate companies, and go ahead and select country, as an example, Kenya, since that is what I selected. I could even target specific lanes. As an example, I'm targeting Ngong Road or Karen, whatever it is you might. If I wanted to target maybe people from a certain department, I could as well select that I'm only looking. Yes, I'm looking for real estate people, but I want people in management. Or I want companies that have between 1 and 10 employees. So all these alternatives are just filters. It's just a matter of you seeing what is relevant to you and adding it there. So now once I'm done with that, the next step is me creating the messages. Keep in mind, like I said, the role of this is for the system to look for the people and engage them, for me do what I would have been doing in the sales process. Now I'm just giving it the instruction. So instruction number 1 is I've told it who to look for on my behalf. Then instruction number 2 is what to say. Remember, I have there are different modules of communication. If I want email, I just choose email. If I want WhatsApp, I choose WhatsApp right here. I type out whatever message it is. Maybe I'm going to type hello, just for test purposes. Then same thing applies. If it's an email, I will still choose the email. Then I type out the messages I would want to send. Add them. Then, as a way of managing this better, say for example, someone hasn't responded back to me, I may want to follow up with that person maybe a week from now. I could as well just come here and add the delay. The delay is right here. Say, for example, I want to wait a period of 7 days. And after those 7 days, I could as well also set up my next message. I'm going to set that up right now so that you see how exactly it would be. Keep in mind that this is an actual message that is going to be delivered, but I'm setting up my structure at once so that the system will look for the people, check on them the first time. If they don't respond, it will go ahead and follow up for me, keep following up, trying to literally do what I needed to have been doing as a human being, because that was the same process I was going to go through anyway. I was going to look for the lead, initiate a conversation, wait for the person to respond through email or WhatsApp or any of these channels. If they don't, I was going to follow up in the first place. So I'm just replicating what I was supposed to have done and putting it in a format of automation. So I type out whatever message it is. Keep in mind that I could do this even for a year if I wanted to. So I could keep adding as many emails and as many SMSs, as many messages I would like through the entire year so that the system automatically knows when to stop following up for me. I could keep adding and adding more and more and more, as many as I see fit. The middle here just shows the different steps, the different messages I've added so far. And on the side here, all the actions available will also be stated here. In the next week also, we'll be launching things like what happens when someone has clicked your message, what happens when someone has opened your message, what happens when someone has not opened it. So if you find those, they'll be available under available conditions, but starting a little bit during the course of this month, I know they will be live. Now, once I'm done with that, all I have to do is select activate right here. Activate means I've told the AI that now I want you to begin looking for these people on my behalf. Now, usually you give it a few minutes and it will begin automatically sending. Now, those days, what we used to do is we used to send out too many messages at the same time, but based on the new pricing, the system will now send out a certain number of messages depending on the package you're on. As an example, the smallest package, the one I selected of $99, will enable you reach about 1,500 people. That's the equivalent of about 50 people. 50 people a day. That means for the 50 people, its target will be I'm going to reach out to these 50 automatically through the day. Why it was structured that way is to also give you time to be able to respond to people. As an example, you might send WhatsApps. My friend, dealing with 1,000 WhatsApps is not as easy. So you might as well let it send three, let it send two, let it send six. But because it's doing it over and over and over and over again, you're getting so much more scale and you're managing whatever requests are coming in as effectively as possible. If you want more volume, you could as well pay for higher packages that reach 10 people, 30 people an hour. You could even pay for packages that go to if you wanted 100, 200 leads in every hour, you could as well pay for those extra packages. It's just your wallet that really restricts how much you reach at the end of the day. Now, yes, so just for better context, let me go back to give you the context of how it would work for, say, for example, the B2C, business to consumer leads. I would still go through the same process. Say I'm based in Kampala this time around. So I'm looking for people that reside around Ntinda. I'm using this just as an example. This could be Lagos. This could be really whatever it is. This could be Delhi. Doesn't really matter. I'm just using that context because I've been in East Africa lately. But so after that, select the individual. Once you select the individual, keep in mind there are also different filters. I might be targeting people in Tinder, but in Tinder, I'm only looking for people that are CEOs. So we have about 5 criteria we use. Criteria number 1 is interest. Interest, as an example, say I was selling video games. I might say I'm only looking for people who are interested in video games. You can literally say, I want people who are interested in gaming. Or I'm looking for corporates. Or I'm looking for, like I said, this is really up to you. If you're selling makeup, say I'm interested in people that I want makeup. So that is criteria number 1, the interest. Criteria number two is the job title. I could even tell the system that specifically look for me procurement managers only. Or if I'm looking for specifically ladies, I could tell the system only look for females on my behalf. Don't forget, you have to add the location as well. So for this case, I said in Tinder, but that could really be anything. And as you state that location, also include the country as well. So this could be Kampala, this could be Joburg, this could be Delhi, this could be London. Really, it's really up to you. Now, once you're done adding the filters that make sense to you, the next step is the same, literally just typing out the messages that you would have wanted to send to these people. So type them out. Let me just go ahead and type out the messages as well. There are other filters that might make sense to you, things like adding to lists. So, for example, you want to get these specific leads and add them to a segment. A segment. You can create that segment and maybe let me just call it Tinder residents. Tinder. So you could as well just add them to a segment as well. I'm showing you all this so that you just get the hang of at least how the system would typically work for you. So yes, now once you're done, go through the same process. Just click activate. Ideally, look at that journey as what series of messages would I have wanted to send to this given set of people. Now, I've given the AI an instruction of number one, who I'm looking for, which is what we called earlier prospecting. Number two, I've given it an instruction of what to tell these people once it gets them, whether on WhatsApp, whether on email, whether in SMS. I've also given it an instruction of how to follow up on my behalf. So everything I would have needed to do, I'm giving it the instruction so that it does it on my behalf. That way, when someone responds back and now they need a meeting or they need more information, that is now when I am needed. That way, I'm not spending a lot of time on these other functions. So yes, in a nutshell, that is how the automations work. So I think this is the stage which will need your most attention because you need to come up with the messages, you need to come up with everything that is required of you. Now, once you're done, the moment you activate, the AI literally goes ahead and begins to get for you the leads. As an example, right now you can see it has already picked these leads for me. After it has picked the leads, it will even get me a person's job title, their email. If their phone number is available, it will get it for me. Then it will proceed and even use my own WhatsApp, the number that we attached, to send them a WhatsApp. It will use the email to send that email to these people. Like I said, these are things that I would have needed to do as a person, but I've just instructed the robot that, you know what, help me do them, so and only notify me when the person has responded back to me. So yes, the AI will keep doing that. So the entire day, the entire night, it will just keep getting you more and more leads. And the moment it gets them, it will even keep telling you what has happened. If have I been able to send the message? Has the message been received? Has the person clicked that message? And that is the data which it will gather to put for to help you qualify. Just that right now it has just started, so I'm giving it some time to send whatever messages need. As an example, you can see this one, it has just sent a WhatsApp to them. And the advantage with this is once it says I've sent a WhatsApp, even on your WhatsApp, the WhatsApp itself that you own, you will see that a message has actually been sent. It will reflect as a sent message to this given contact. If it's an email, it will also reflect as an sent email on your account. So giving you the freedom to play around with certain things. Now, the advantage with this is it goes ahead and even tracks for you what has happened after the message has been sent. Have they been opened? Have they been clicked? Has a video that was inside the WhatsApp you sent been watched? Then it goes and qualifies those people for you based on that information. So it will show you who the cold leads are, who the warm leads are, who the hot leads are, based on how they are interacting with the information that you're sending them, and even give you further recommendations of how best to adjust your messages basing on that exact information of how people are interacting with your content. So this is all automated, and automatically people will keep moving through different stages. And personally, I always recommend you call these hot leads. Go ahead and even call them because they've shown intent that, you know, we're actually genuinely interested in what you have to offer. So that is the best bit about it. Now, once you're done with that, the next thing is, of course, analytics. You need some analytics. There's analytics where you now see, as an example, how many contacts have been acquired for me by this AI. How has the engagement happened? Meaning, how many messages have I sent out? How many of them have been received? How many of them have been clicked? Um, the ones that have been clicked, how many have responded? So that you have a full understanding of what exactly is going on with the system overall. Just that right now we've just started, so the analytics haven't yet really started gathering momentum. Even then, the email we put was wrong, but it literally uses your actual email. So whatever we are sending here, we'll have direct access to see what it is. So this can be exported and made available on other platforms. There are a couple of people that are even going ahead and using our CRM function, which means you're tracking your deals and your pipeline within our very system. So that is available from right here. Yeah, you're tracking your tasks, you're tracking your meetings. So that is part of our CRM functionality. So that for those of you that don't already have an existing CRM, it can also help you with some of those functions, as well as the inbox. The inbox is like a central place where all your messages, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it's email, they all come to one central place. And now your team can manage whatever queries have come at a large enough scale. But in a nutshell, those are the main functions of the Trembi Sales AI. Its core job is to help you just automate your selling. Instead of you reaching 500 people, 20 people a month, let the system talk to a large enough number of people, because at the end of the day, what matters in sales is just one thing. Have you got the leads? Which it's doing for you. Have you engaged the leads and told them what to do? And it's doing that very, very well. In fact, much more effectively than you would have done it yourself. Going ahead and following up for you. Sometimes, to be honest, even me personally, I forget to follow up. A guy tells you, you talk to him today, he doesn't respond, and you very well know you're supposed to check on him maybe in 2 weeks, but the 2 weeks have come and you have something else on your mind, so you forget. That's why it comes in and it goes ahead and follows up for you. And ultimately, that's what creates opportunity for you. Truth be told, that is where the future of sales is going. We're envisioning a time where it will not only get you the lead, it will talk to that lead, it will follow up, respond to whatever queries they have, book the meetings if there is need for it, need for you to book, and everything sales related. That is what we're building the future of Trembi towards, at least when it comes to this given product. Now, for those of you that have any questions, we're available to help at any point in time. Simply drop us an email on info@trembi.com and we'll be in position to help you. And we'll be in position to help you. But that's all from me, folks. For in case of any questions, please drop a comment. We'll be in position to respond. And as you can see, it keeps once it updates, you can go here and you'll notice it will keep picking people automatically for you. And all of this happens on autopilot. But yes, in a nutshell, that is what the tool does. It just helps you automate a lot of the selling. And for those of you that are looking for a future where artificial intelligence can give you the power of what you would have had hiring 10 sales reps, this is where that future begins. Simply sign up, check out our pricing, and be able to get started even today. The cost of what you would pay for this one AI tool is the equivalent of what 10 salespeople would have done for you, meaning you're getting the money for 10 people and literally using a quarter of what you would have paid one person for that tool. And it's getting you the same impact at the end of the day. So test it out, check it out, and let us know in case of anything. Bye bye for now.